Today is November 11th, the anniversary of Ash's World Championship victory. To celebrate this occasion, I've gathered a few of my friends to talk about some of the best Ash Ketchum moments from the Pokemon anime. Now keep in mind that these are just a handful of picks that really resonated with us, so be sure to let us know your favorite Ash Ketchum moments down below and subscribe for more videos.
One of Ash's most defining moments of both this character and this series as a whole was without a doubt Ash saying goodbye to his friends in the Johto League. Not only did he say bye to Brock and Misty, but he also had to say bye to his former rival Gary, after the newfound respect that the two gained for each other, as Gary now wanted to be a researcher, showing Ash that people can change and start all new journeys for themselves. And while the departure from Brock and Misty was a heartbreaking one at the time, it definitely made him stronger as a character. No, seriously, it did, because the man used their kitchen gifts to climb a mountain! This episode marked that no matter where Ash goes, no matter how far away his friends may be, they'll always be with them. They'll always find a way to earn everyone's respect and friendship. And most importantly, it was the start of a brand new adventure. Every beginning has an end, and every end is a new beginning. And for Pokemon, the end of the original series would begin the start of a new adventure and define the series' future with many more memorable stories and lovable characters waiting to be discovered by us.
Holly here, and welcome to my world. Throughout the Pokemon anime, we've seen Ash risk his life countless times to save his friends, Pokemon, and even the entire world. The Ash Ketchum moment I'll be discussing today is no different, and that scene in particular is when Ash saves the Sea Temple and Pokemon Ranger in the Temple of the Sea. We first find Ash, May, and Pikachu attempting to find the final piece of the Sea Crown, used to keep the temple intact and visible underwater. When Ash spots it in a fountain, he locks May and Pikachu inside a pod to keep them safe while the entire temple begins to flood and break down. Ash then attempts to take the crystal and swim to the center of the temple to place it back in its spot to cease the flooding. However, he doesn't have much luck the first few times as he keeps running out of breath underwater. When it seems like all hope is lost and he is about to drown, Manaphy uses his heart swap to depict May and Pikachu, who are encouraging Ash to keep trying. And with their support, he is finally able to take one last breath and place the crystal in its spot, saving the temple and his friends. This scene kept me on the edge of my seat the first time I watched it, and still continues to do so. What gets me most is that it showed Ash's humanity and the reality of the situation. Ash was incredibly close to drowning, and yet, with his bravery and persistence, he kept going back, risking his life in an attempt to not only save May and Pikachu from the flood, but also to preserve a sacred and ancient oasis honoring Manaphy and the people of the water. This scene also brings us full circle with Ash's development through the Advanced Generation series. Ash entered Hoenn with a huge ego and a hot temper. However, here, Ash is so quick to push all his worries and fears aside and selflessly risks everything for the people and Pokemon around him. And these are just a few of the many reasons why this scene remains so meaningful and special to me to this day. Thank you, Ash Ketchum.
Ash Ketchum is defined by his memories, adventures, and the Pokemon that went along with him on this journey. And for me, I have the most connection with Ash's original Pokemon, since they were the ones that started everything. So when Ash decided to go back to his roots and bring back his original Kanto 4, it really was something special. Ash was at a bit of a loss on how to defeat Brandon, so he called upon Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charizard. Along with Pikachu, it just gave us so much nostalgia of the original series, the very beginning of Ash's journey with these Pokemon. They all head out into the forest to get the whole experience of a brand new trainer, camping out, making a fire, and thinking back on all the memories they have shared together. It was the real culmination of Ash's journey to this point, and it even felt like it could have been his finale. There were so many little moments and throwbacks in this episode, and the interactions between these four Pokemon were just really wholesome to see again. And all of this ultimately helps Ash go on to conquer the Battle Frontier, but this is what the Pokemon anime is about for me, looking back on what Ash has achieved and seeing how far he's come in his journey, just having these little moments of downtime where old friends reunite. It was the calm before the storm that was Brandon, and it was just a perfect way to bring back these Pokemon.
One of Ash Ketchum's greatest moments was the epic showdown against Paul in the Sinnoh League. This battle is a fan favorite for several reasons. It's action-packed and showcases Ash's growth as a trainer and as a person, highlighting his evolving beliefs and mental growth. Throughout his journey in Sinnoh, Ash learned the importance of staying true to his values, prioritizing bonds over pure power, and focusing on the trust and friendship of his Pokemon, which of course is very different from Paul's very power-based beliefs. Not to mention, with Pokemon like Infernape, Ash consistently showed his ability to break through his limits in various ways to achieve his goals. Then of course the finale showcased the epic battle between Ash's Infernape and Paul's Electivire, which is top tier. In this moment, Ash embraced the idea that different approaches to life and goals are valid, alongside growing self-confidence and beliefs in his own abilities. This all comes together and showcases Ash's incredible journey from the beginning of the series and throughout his other Pokemon adventures. A real growth that is really evident in the final showdown against Leon. Ash never loses trust in his Pokemon, remains true to his ideals, and continues to push past his limits, which are all things that I try to do in my own life and with my own goals, making this battle even more impactful as an amazing Ash Ketchum moment. Plus, of course, this battle is based and I never get tired of seeing it, easily making it one of Ash Ketchum's best moments.
We all know the general consensus on Ash Ketchum in the black and white anime, but one thing that we really don't talk about enough is his final episode in that series. In that episode, we got a really rare moment of Ashy Boy laying in bed with Pikachu and just really reflecting on his dream and his growth. But in this scene, I really felt a slight sense of doubt in Ash's mind. It was really clear that Ash was truly hoping that even after failing in the Univers League, that he was still at least a tiny bit closer to being a Pokemon Master. It was really obvious that Ash knew he could have performed better, and to be fair dude, we all thought the same. So then he stated that his resolve for his upcoming Carlos journey is that he has to get stronger. Major emphasis on that word. This moment of significant self-reflection leads perfectly into his development in X and Y, where he took his training and battling much more seriously, and thus grew into a much more mature and strong trainer. Back at the end of Univers, Ash emphasized that he really wants to get stronger in Carlos, and then his entire journey, his entire path in Carlos, that was all about getting stronger and stronger with Greninja. I mean, think about how Ash would keep yelling stronger, stronger when he was trying to master the bond phenomenon with Greninja. That transition in Ash's character from black and white to X and Y, it was handled so perfectly, dude, and that is all thanks to that one Ashy Boy moment at the end of the black and white anime.
Back in 2013, we were blessed with the premiere of the brand new Pokemon XY anime, and after Black and White, this definitely got you hyped for the new Pokemon series. So let's focus on Ash's arrival in the Kalos region that kickstarted such an epic series. There's so much to love here because Ash is just shown off in the coolest way possible. He still got his exuberant and enthusiastic personality as always, but now he's super cool. Firstly, let's discuss Ash's battle with Clement. We already knew as the viewer that Ash would be a great battler in this series. Pikachu hits Butterby so hard it replays 3 times, Ash's confidence is at a new high, and through his battling and confidence, we can see how he's already inspiring and influencing Clement's development in this series. I may have been 16 when XY aired, but I felt just like a kid again watching the original series. Ash is portrayed as a veteran trainer with the energy of a new trainer. He's confident, strong, and I absolutely love all of the dynamic shots we got of Ash throughout these 2 episodes. We have Ash chasing down Garchomp throughout Lumio City, even going as far as to climb the entirety of Prism Tower to try and quell Garchomp's fury. Ash was even followed by the news reporters during the live broadcast and had everyone on the edge of their seat. Like, this is like a movie. And then look at this man when he reaches the top of Prism Tower. Look at our boy. And then of course we have the iconic dive off of Prism Tower to save Pikachu. Ash was just portrayed so incredibly well during the premiere of XY. It was everything we loved about Ash and more. And being accompanied by the dynamic camera angles and 3D camera used during the series made him look even better. This premiere of XY was incredible, and I was just filled with awe and wonder seeing Ash's arrival in Kalos.
Good morning everybody, it's JPR. For my Ash Ketchum moment, I opted to cover his iconic speech at the top of the Prism Tower in Pokemon X, Y, and Z, when Ash faces Lysander. After Lysander gives his reason for wanting to wipe out the world and create it anew, Ash affirms that everyone has their own hopes and dreams, and he has no right to take their tomorrows away from them. It's a moment that perfectly encapsulates Ash's heroic energy and his maturity in the XY series, as he fights to literally save the world. Ultimately, this speech convinces Alon to turn back to the light and aid Ash in the fight against his former mentor. And I don't use this phrase lightly, but by Pokemon standards, it's peak fiction.
My personal favorite Ash Ketchum moment has to be Ash and Pikachu's trip to Treasure Island in Sun and Moon episode 20. It's one of the best slice of life episodes, which are something I generally love, but this one pretty much focuses exclusively on Ash and Pikachu. No companions, none of his other Pokemon, just the two partners that we've grown attached to over the course of our lives. We really never get episodes like this, not before and not after, so it's really wholesome honestly. But what really seals the deal is the heart-to-heart that they have while sitting on the beach. Ash is just talking about how grateful he is for Pikachu, and he reflects on their journey thus far as well as their short time in the Alola region at this point. Finally, he reclaims his goal of becoming a Pokémon Master with Pikachu by his side. Especially coming off the heels of XY's tension and dramatic approach, something like this I felt was really necessary for these characters, and I'll never forget this moment between them. You can tell this island became a seminal place for Ash because he returns here multiple times, including bringing Go here in Journeys to catch an Alolan Executor.
I love Pokemon captures, especially ones that get me emotional due to its narrative in the moment, and throughout the entire series we've had our fair share of wonderful captures. However, the one that really stood out to me the most was Solgaleo from the Sun and Moon anime series. Throughout the season, we've seen Ash take care of this Pokemon back when it was seen as just a Nebby and witnessed all their silly antics together. However, the scene that I really want to talk about with y'all is the evolution sequence from Nebby into Solgaleo. Way Ash responds to Solgaleo by saying how cool it is upon its reveal, and then embraces the big line after realizing that despite its new look, it still is Nebby within. And of course, the music that plays during the sequence while showing flashbacks of their misadventures throughout Sun and Moon leading up to this moment, my gosh, such a beautifully well-crafted scene from beginning to end. Now, this is the part I will have to thank Journeys for, because for the longest time we weren't so sure as to the status of Solgaleo. Was it a capture? Was it not? But thanks to the final battle between Leon as well as the final opening of Pokemon Journeys showing the Alola captures, which included Solgaleo, this confirms that for the first time in the Anime-Poke series, for Ash anyway, he finally has obtained his very first legendary Pokemon. Looking back, Sun and Moon really was that series that broke many traditions and expectations out the window. Did I ever mention how much I love this series so much?
What's up, Lumiose trainers? I mean, greetings my comrades, Xano here. And next up is the climactic end to Ash vs Kukui, the Z-move clash between Pikachu and Tapu Koko. First of all, this battle is pure hype, and it's one of the best animated sequences in the entire anime. I mean, do you see this? Ash is literally doing a Kamehameha. However, more importantly, it's a moment that really defines Ash and Pikachu's love for Alola, as the two reminisce about all the people and Pokemon they met, which define this portion of their journey. This battle has a lot more emotional weight than a lot of the other battles in the series do as well, as this is a conflict not only between Alolan father and son, but rivals as well, as throughout the entire series, Pikachu and Tapu Koko had formed somewhat of a rivalry. Hell, Ash's true goal for the entire Sun and Moon series was to beat Tapu Koko. The point I'm trying to make is that this climax truly brings all of Ash's character arcs in Alola full circle, in the best way possible. I know some people aren't the biggest fans of the Sun and Moon series, but this moment truly defined Ash as a character for me, and solidified Sun and Moon as my favorite series of the anime.
After becoming Alola's champion, Ash's status as a trainer reached a new level. Everything he experienced in Alola and Pride was amalgamated into this victory, leading to him winning the hearts of the people from the tropical region. So what's so special about this moment from Pokemon Journeys? With Ash aiming to defeat Leon in the Pokemon World Championships, he revisited his second home to not only be welcomed again as the region's champion, but to also rejuvenate as a trainer. This episode is incredible, because it doesn't only allow the audience to remember how Ash became a champion who is loved by so many people, but it also allows Ash to prepare himself for his biggest challenge yet. Having Ash reunite with his old companions, allowing him to be reminiscent of how he got to this stage, was so emotional. Watching this as a viewer hit even harder, because we've seen Ash go through so much to get to this stage. The whole basis of this episode was brilliant, as it also acted as a closing chapter of the Sun and Moon anime, having characters return and reunite with others. It's very impactful, and the attention to detail in the storyboarding is beautiful. With Ash returning, this allowed his champion status to be fully acknowledged in the region where he is loved by so many people. Like, it's so wholesome seeing how far Ash had come from being booed to now have the support of the whole region after everything he's done for them. Like, I can't begin to explain how amazing it felt just to see characters cheer for Ash like this. He's come so far. The Battle Royale was also cool, paying close attention to how Ash and Kukui had their battle leading to his champion victory, also showing the connection after everything the series portrayed for them both, and we even got to see his closest friends acknowledge how strong Ash had become as their champion. The final moment with Ash realising how important his status of Alola's champion sealed the deal. He got the reassurance and confidence that he needed, and he was ready to take on the PWC and inevitably reach to Leon. And this is what sold it for me. Seeing how far Ash had become to this final moment was sublime, and it led to the biggest reward in itself.
Alright, you all knew this was coming. Of course, we gotta end things off by talking about Ash's win against Leon, my favorite Ash Ketchum moment of all time, and the reason we made this video in the first place. This is basically covering most of Journey's episode 132, minus the Cinderace part. We don't really talk about that. What makes this moment so special is that it truly is the buildup of Ash and Pikachu's entire journey together. Just like the anime staff, who gave it their absolute all with the jaw-dropping animation, Ash and Pikachu also give it their all against Leon and Charizard, the world's strongest. It truly felt like everything these two have been through in the past 25 years of the anime all led to this moment. And with the support of all of Ash's companions, you just knew this moment was special. I don't think we've ever seen Pikachu battle so intensely. And just when it looks like they were gonna lose, he sees a vision of all of Ash's Pokemon, the team members who helped bring them to this very moment. All of them cheering him on alongside Ash for one final push. I don't know about you, but I was not expecting Super Saiyan Pikachu of all things here. This is what I love about this moment. Of course, the win itself is special, but it's the fact that this truly felt like a celebration of Ash and Pikachu's history. It doesn't matter what series you watched, OS, AG, DP, Black and White, XY, Sun and Moon, or Journeys, there is something for every single Pokemon fan who's watched an episode of the Pokemon anime, especially since the true focus is on Ash and Pikachu, the very foundation of this series. The final clash between Pikachu and Charizard is one of the best looking and hardcore moments of the entire series, and this is followed by one of the most rewarding, with our boy Ash finally being crowned the strongest in the world. Even if he doesn't consider himself to be one yet, I'm pretty sure we can all agree that this is the moment where Ash Ketchum became a Pokémon Master. Thank you all for watching, and shout out to the amazing content creators who joined me in this celebration. Be sure to check out their channels down below. Also, shout out to the channel members for their extra support. Last but not least, make sure to live your life to the fullest, and have yourself a damn good one.